This video is sponsored by Rover and our crowdfunders on Patreon. If you think modern science-based training is important, I'm gonna have a link in the description. Over the years, I've learned that there are a few core principles that will help you teach your dog regardless of what you're trying to teach them. BB-8's all grown up now and he's an Alaskan Klekai. Click thumbs up for BB-8, subscribe to my channel, and buy my book for the long version of today's video. If only there was a way to get a little extra help with your dog when you get busy in life. Did you know there's an app for that? Yeah, there is. Whether you just need a pet sitter for a day or someone to take care of your dog while you're on vacation, you can find a great dog walker or sitter to take care of your dog in your home or theirs. You can choose from lots of highly rated people, and these reviews are incredibly helpful. You really do start to get a sense of what these people are like when they interact with your dog. Oh, look at Laura. She'll even send you pictures and texts. You can filter this by making sure that the person you want is available on certain days of the week. You can select for price range depending on what your budget is. And if you have questions for them, you can send them a message and ask those questions ahead of time. So if you're stuck at work and you need someone to check in on or walk your dog on short notice, you just go to the app and you can find the right person literally in minutes. For $25 off your first booking, go to rover.com/ZachGeorge and enter promo code ZachGeorge when you check out. Hey, that's a good deal, BB-8. Let's go over the 6 indispensable secrets that I've learned which will make you a better trainer. I'm gonna have a link to a playlist in the description that'll show you how to teach everything we're gonna cover in today's video. First and foremost, you should focus on training your dog from the inside out. Now, what I mean by this is rather than making your dog do something by forcing them, say using a pinch collar to discourage your dog from pulling, you should try to make your dog want to do something, like motivating your dog to want to stay with you rather than pulling ahead, so that the behavior emerges from the inside out. See, outside-in training has a ton of shortcomings. If you rely on a pinch or a choke collar to teach your dog not to pull on a leash, don't expect a compliant dog once those collars come off. Patches are no substitute for proper dog training. Hey, let's see if you can leave it. The outside-in approach can sometimes be toxic to the bond that you're trying to build, and it's usually less pleasant for your dog. And the bond is the next essential cornerstone of training. When you focus on building trust, respect, and understanding with your dog, having a well-behaved dog that listens to you is a natural side effect. So how do you bond with your dog? Well, start by playing with them. Fewer things accelerate a bond faster than play. Take care of their needs and be kind, patient, and empathetic every step of the way, and offer lots of love. Learning to communicate. Always remember that we made dogs that were good at taking direction from and coexisting with us. It is in their DNA. They have a very special ability to understand humans. So while it can take some time to establish fluent communication with your dog, it will happen if you're committed. Start with the eyes. Dogs naturally look at our eyes to gather lots of information about us, and as you get to know your dog, you'll learn a lot about them from looking at their eyes too. Communication is a two-way street. Get to know your dog's signals as well. So if your dog appears a little bit more nervous, use a more delicate approach. And if they're excited, maybe be more peppy and enthusiastic sometimes. This will come naturally as you spend more time with your dog. Or if they're just kind of weird, I'm gonna use a weird approach with you. Focus on teaching them to be bilingual too. Use hand and verbal signals for everything you teach them. Lie down? Yes! So he responded to a real subtle lie down hand signal. Feel free to speak to your dog in complete sentences too, in much the same way you might speak to a young child. Over time, they'll learn to understand you far more than you may have ever thought possible. The more credit you give your dog, the more they'll rise to the occasion. Isn't that right, BB-8? Be consistent. Now this is a big one. You are so much more likely to have the well-behaved dog that you desire if you're great at being consistent. Dog training basically boils down to this. If a dog gets a positive outcome from a behavior, they're likely to repeat it. And if a dog gets an unfavorable outcome, well, they're less likely to repeat it. All right, let's see how BB-8's spin is looking. Spin! Oh, he didn't spin that time. There's no need to use harsh corrections in that case. Just limit the access to the thing they want. In this case, it's a treat. That's all you have to do. You look like a tornado, man. Wow. When your dog does something you don't like, you need to be there to show them what you do want them to do virtually every single time. For example, if your dog is jumping on a guest, you need to be there to show them that you'd prefer that they sit instead. And when your dog does something you do like, you should be there to reward them and show them that they're on the right track almost every single time during that first year of training. Control the environment. Improperly doing this is the most common mistake that I see. The best way to curb bad habits is to keep them from becoming established in the first place. If your dog is brand new to training, attach them to you as often as possible. And when you can't have them attached to you, make sure they're in a place where undesired behaviors cannot occur. The importance of exercise. High energy dogs are the most likely to cause issues for most people, but the vast majority of behavior problems can be eliminated with regular exercise and, of course, exercise just before training. Remember to check out my playlist in the description that'll show you how to teach your dog everything we talked about today and beyond. Click thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and support us on Patreon. Remember, check out rover.com/ZachGeorge to get $25 off your first booking. That's such a good deal, isn't it, BB-8? Oh, you did a good job today, handsome. You did. Goofy boy. Arr.